Let's wait a minute and see if other people come on, and then I'll get going. Do you see my screen?
Yes,
or just me?
I see both.
My screen? Oh, alrighty. I'm not sure how to do this, or I can do both. Okay, so where do I want to go to do that? Okay, I don't see where I can see the. I see me, but I don't see my actual screen. Or does that not? Is that not going to show for me?
It won't show for you. It's just displaying exactly what you're doing on your desktop right now.
Okay. All right. So should we get going? Let me see if Becky's on. Let's see.
Yes, Becky is. I show Becky as.
Okay, she says she. Okay, but she says she can't hear on Facebook, so she's on Facebook. So I'm not sure. All right. All right, I'm gonna get going here in just a second. Oops. All right. Okay, I want to shrink this so it's not. Oh, I guess I just did. Hi. Where are you? Oh, very nice. Okay, so let's see what's going on with Becky.
Let me do this. I'm going to change her as presenter and see if that brings her in.
All right. Wonderful technology.
Becky, you now have the presenter role, and you should be able to see and hear us. Well, we see her desktop screen working there.
Okay, so.
All right. So there's something going on with her audio. So let's go ahead and, Becky, since you can see what's going on, Lisa, why don't you go ahead and take the reins? Let's get started.
Okay, awesome. All righty. Hi, everyone. We have some fun today. One of the things that Becky and I like most, which is Picmonkey. And I am going to show you the free way to do it without logging in. So I don't know if any of you have experimented with this at all. So let's just kind of start from scratch, and I'll move through it pretty quickly. But again, this is going to be recorded, so you can watch it at any time. And I'm also going to do a PDF with actual instructions like I did for the last presentation. So let's get started. When you're in picmonkey.com right here, okay, you come to a screen that looks like this. Oh, well, there we go. I already clicked out of it. All right, sorry about that. Let's go back to the main screen. Okay, so this is what you're going to be seeing. Okay, you have a free trial here, which you do not want to do unless you want to end up paying for it, which gives you more features. And I think it's about, I want to say $4.99 a month, $35 a year, something like that. The login, I'm not going to log in today, but that's where you would log in. To use it for free, you do not need to do anything but start. So let me show you how Becky and I are currently doing images. And what I want to say about this is that images online are ever evolving. So they're changing in theme, they're changing the font. So what is trending, we want to always be going with the trend instead of against the trend. So even though Becky and I like to make really pretty fonts and like lots of color, that's not what's trending right now. So I'm going to take you through what is currently trending, and then again, as you learn more about how the online world works, you can see how to modify your images as time goes on. So we're going to edit right here. So you have a couple of different places. One is going to be edit here, and the other one is design here. Those are the two most common places. We're going to start today with edit. So you would click this button, and it's going to take it immediately to your desktop or wherever you want to go to pick an image. Now I have all kinds of images already saved, so I'm just going to pick one and we're going to play around with it a little bit. Okay, so if we look at this picture, let's use this one. Well, actually, let me get a landscape because those are good. Okay, here we have a landscape.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Becky.
All right. Hi, everybody.
Okay, so Becky's on, and Becky can hear, so she'll be jumping in here in a few minutes. We're going to take this picture right now, just as an example, and it automatically loads. So again, you go to Edit, pick your photo, and it will load it for you. Okay? This is just going to ask you what your image settings are. So you just want to pick, the middle one is bubbles, that's what we use, just pick Save. Okay? Now here you have your image. And as you can see, if we kept the image as is, there's not a lot of space on there to actually write text unless you write it up in the sky where it would actually show. So I'm going to show you how we're creating images now that are not only trending, but they make it easier to see the font. The first thing we're going to do is go to the crop feature. Now for Facebook, the crop dimensions are always the same, 1200 by 628. And you'll see it creates a box right here. What you want to do is not just click that without selecting Scale Photo. This is going to keep your dimensions exactly how you want them. So you can pull it down like this, and you can say, well, I want less of the sky, I want, you know, no sky at all. You can pretty much position it any way you want, and it's going to always keep these dimensions here. Okay? So let's just take it to this point. Okay? And we're going to click Apply. Now, if you look down some of these other features, we're not going to go through everything today, but just pretty much the free features that you get. You can just have a blast really experimenting with this. But what I do is I take exposure here, and I take the brightness, the top one, and I just move it over the top until I get it faded out enough. 66 is about where I usually go. Sometimes the pictures are darker and they need more. But you want to fade it out so you give yourself a really great canvas to put text in that is going to really pop off the image. Okay? You simply want to click Apply. Well, I'll show you some of the other features you can use. These do different things. You can get rid of some of the shadows. You can add shadow. You can do lots of fun things. Okay? So I'll just recenter this here. We're going to take the picture just with the 66 and nothing else, just for the sake of this photo. Okay, that's close enough. Okay, and you want to click Apply. Okay, the next thing I would do is take the text. Okay, and you've got a whole bunch of options on the text. You have two columns. See all this? This is ours, meaning Picmonkey supplies this, or you can always go over to yours. Now, oh, I guess that would be a royal feature. Okay, if you pay for Picmonkey, you'll have a royal feature where you can actually get a lot more of the features, but you really don't need to do that right off the bat. When you see, let's see here, when you see ours and you scroll down, if you see this crown right here, that means you can only use that font if you've got a paid subscription. Okay. The most common font we're using right now that's trending is the Geo Sans Light. So you click on that and then add text. and a box pops up right here in the center of the picture. Okay. Now I'm going to go into, to show you how I do it, I'm going to go into Bible Gateway. Oops. BibleGateway.com. Okay. And I'm going to choose a scripture, and I'm going to show you a really simple way to put scriptures. I'm so not really working. But wait a second. This box right here, I have a slow connection. No. Okay. This box right here is something that you're going to use for the actual text, and I'll show you how that works. So let's go back to Bible Gateway. I'm going to choose a verse. Let's say wait. Okay, I'm just going to choose any verse. Search for the verse. And I'm going to choose this verse right here. Okay? I'm going to take it, cut it, and paste it right into this box, just like that. I'm going to clean it up a little bit because I don't want the full chapter to show. And then I always take the actual verse itself. I put the verse at the top, so I'm going to cut this and simply paste it on the bottom. Okay? So you have it nice and neat there, but the problem is that this should not be as large as the rest of the actual verse itself. So I take it like this, highlight it up to there, so it's the line above. And then over here you see where it says 39. I want it to be roughly, so I'm going to go down to 18, and that's where I want it. So the verse is much larger than the Psalm 27:14. Okay? Then what I do is you can select all or just highlight all of it like this and choose the font you want. You can have Impact, you can have Geo Sans Light, you can do Legal Gothic. We're looking for now a really sophisticated plain font. That's why the Geo Sans Light is the most popular font right now. So I take this in the corners and I'm going to spread it out and decide where I want it. Do I want to move it over here? Do I want the guy to show more? Do I want to stick it over in the corner? You can use these little corners here to shrink it, to do whatever you want, and place your text exactly where you want it. So let's just say I want to put it there. Okay? Now you want to make sure that it's actually showing up. If it doesn't show up, then either you need to fade the image a little bit more or reposition the text. See, it's hard to see it with the trees, so I like it better over here. Okay? So maybe right there is going to be perfect. Okay, so I have it where I want it. One of the things I want to tell you, when you translate from Facebook to the JoyfulTimes.com page, you lose a little bit of each edge, about that much. Just the template for images, so it's going to be cut off. So you want to be sure that your actual font is in a position that's away from these edges. The other thing you want to be careful of is keep the top open, because when your article posts on Joyful Times, let me show you what that looks like real quick. Okay, if you look at any article, do you see right here how this blue box right here covers up a portion of the image? And on Verse of the Day it's fine because that's a little bit different application. But when you have an actual article, you want to make sure that your whole image really gets the full impact. So see how this is positioned here? It's nice that box doesn't cover anything. Same thing. So you can see how these are positioned. Okay? So I just want to show you that. So let's go back to the photo editor. This is really nice. I like the way it looks. And then what you're going to do is add the logo. And the logo that we're going to be using for all images is JoyfulTimesToday.com. And Becky, I think, provided that for you. So you click on the butterfly here, and click on Your Own. When you click on Your Own, I just go up in here and I have it shows logo, but wherever you keep it. So on my desktop, I think I put it, not really sure, let's see. Okay, that's not it. Okay, I don't have the clear one, so I'm just going to use this just for now. I need to. Becky, did you send that to me today?
I sent. You already have it, but the girls all got it last night.
Okay, so I don't know where it is currently because we just changed this recently. So let me put this one in. It's going to be a PNG. It's not going to be a JPEG like this is, so it's not going to show. But you want to put it in a spot that's not going to really dominate. You want to make sure that it's not the most prominent. So you're going to shrink it. I'm going to have to see if I can find it on okay, and then what you can do is fade it. So this is actually kind of working, surprisingly, but yours won't have the box around it. So see how you just want to make sure it's there, but it's not so prominent that it takes away from the verse in the image. Okay? Now that you have that done, you want to save it. When you come over here, really, really important, I just take this whole thing out, and you want to name it, and I'll put this in your instructions, JoyfulTimesToday.com-date your initials. Okay, this is how we're going to know who created the image and on the date. So if we ever lose anything, we can always pair the image with the article very quickly. Okay, you want to always save it in a PNG, not a JPEG, and the reason for that is we found when you save it in a JPEG, the words get kind of fuzzy, they're not as crisp. So save it in a PNG, and then you come down here, save to my computer, and I'm going to put it just right here on my desktop. You can put it in a folder, you can put it, I put everything on my desktop until have completed the actual posting of the article in the .com site. Okay, and I save it, and then you should be able to find it right here. There's my image. Okay, so that is the basic what you need to know to get started. There's lots of features in Picmonkey that are just amazing. I'm going to start over with a new session on Picmonkey so we can kind of get an idea of some of the other features that are available. Becky, do you want to jump in here and show some things, or you want me to keep going?
I don't know how to take over on here. This is my first time on this particular webinar application.
Okay. Okay, well, why don't you, if you see anything that you want me to do specifically, just let me know. This is the design element, so I showed you the last time edit. So what I'm going to show you this time is how to design your own from scratch. And what I mean by that is typically if you don't have an image, if you just want a blank canvas and have some fun, you're going to go into the design feature. Okay? And you want to do custom here. You want to go 1200 by 628, and you want to make it. Now there you have a blank canvas. So some of the things you can do, you've already cropped it, so you don't need to do that. You have the right dimensions, and you can pick any color you want. You can do purple, whatever you like. Now again, we're trying to stay with the trend, so keep that in mind. If you want to do, let's say, nice lavender, let's just use that for now. Okay? I'm going to take the text. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to pick a new font, put it in here. Whoops, well, that didn't take the whole thing. Let's see here. Okay. So again, we paste the font. We get rid of anything we don't want just simply by backspacing, just like you would do on a Word document. I'm going to cut this, bring it down here, paste it, and then remember to make it smaller right here with this slide bar. Okay. Okay. So here are some of the different fonts and the things you can do, and I want to encourage creativity, but at the same time we have to really make sure we want to remember not what we want, which is hard, but what our audience wants. So one of the things that I love that Becky does is she'll take one word like this. So let's first find a really nice font, and we're going to go with maybe Cardo. Okay, we really like this. It just seems to fit the verse. But what I want to do is I really want to accentuate one word. So I'm going to come down and find a really nice, fun, beautiful, whoops, guess I can't do that one because it has the crown right here. And I'm not signed in, I forget that part. Okay, so let's do it with this, okay? And I'm going to just take this and say, oh, or maybe let's, okay. I'm sorry about these ads that keep coming up. Okay, so I want to, and you just put your cursor on the top bar and you can move this box all around. So I want to take this and I want to make it a little larger. Okay, because I really want to accentuate just that one word. So you can see how that just kind of jazzes it up just a bit, and you might want to do the same thing down here. Exact same thing. Make it a little larger. Yeah, when you do that, it does make a space there, so you have to actually put it on a separate line, or don't use it for that.
And you know what I do sometimes is I will delete the word Lord completely and add text as a whole brand new way of using.
Right. Okay. Okay, great. Good point. So what she's saying is this: you just cut this entire word, and then so that the box you can place anywhere you want. You take an add text, and you put the word in here. Okay, let's say that's the size you want it. And you can make the box a little smaller if it helps you. And then just drag it down. I'm going to have to get rid of the period here. And then, oops. I can move the box over like that, or I can actually move the letters, this little box. Oh, there. Let's say I want to put it right there, and then I'm going to move the box over to go with it. Is that what you meant, Becky?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So let's say we really like the look, we like the lavender, but we want to add a little bit of jazz to it. This right here, you see over here on the left-hand side, it looks like a magic wand. This has a whole bunch of fun features that you can use to boost, soften. You can put dark edges on it. See how that made the dark edges? And you can do the size of the edges, the intensity of the edges. Oh, I don't know why that's happening. That's kind of fun. You can fade them. You can change the color. So without having to go through every one of these features, we just want to make sure that you know that you can, anything that doesn't have a crown on it is available to you for the free account. Okay, lots of fun stuff.
Lisa, go down to the texture and show them how that grunge works and how they can use just a speck of the grunge.
Okay.
I don't know if that's what, I call it grunge, but I don't know if that's what Picmonkey
well,
calls
it's not on. I'm not on the textures yet.
it. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I can do that. I'm trying to just show them some of the ones on here that you can play around with. So let's see, where was I going? Rats. You're not talking about gritty, are you? Because gritty doesn't work on this.
No, it was in the textures. We can show them when you get down there.
All right. So this is. These are different shapes. You can just play around, just play around, but again, keep in mind that the sophisticated look, think about it this way. Well, who are you trying to attract? If you're trying to attract an 11-year-old, you would do something very, very different than if you were trying to attract someone who's a CEO, for example, or someone who wants to use this as a presentation. They want to show other people that this is a scripture that they really like. Always think about, would somebody actually print this and post it on their own wall, or post it, cut it out and print it and post it on their mirror at home? So this is something you really want to think about. Is it a nice look? Is it easy to read? Is it something that just really makes you feel like, wow, I love this verse. I love the way it's presented. So think about that. Okay, we're going to come down here to frames, which you see right here under the butterfly. And frames are something that we don't use a lot of, and the reason I don't use them anymore is because when you create a frame like this, keep in mind what I said earlier, about this much of it is going to be cut off when you actually post it on the .com. So frames tend to look a little odd when they actually show up on the .com. So I try to stay away from frames now unless you're just creating something for your Facebook page. Okay, so we don't want that. Okay, and then down here, the next one, it looks like a little waffle. It's the textures. Lots and lots and lots of fun textures, and you can kind of get carried away. It's really easy to get carried away. You can do space, and you say, oh gosh, I really want this to look like it's in space. You can do that, a night sky kind of a look. We have light trails, which used to be our favorite, but they're really not trending right now, unfortunately, because we just love these. You can move them. But I want to show you all this because I want you to also be able to create, if you have a Facebook page, and when you start learning about images and how many, you might want to do just plain images every day to build your Facebook traffic, and then do one image for your article. So this would be something that you could play around with a little bit more, and it doesn't have to be quite as the sophisticated look. You can play around a little bit more with it. Do you see what I mean?
And Lisa, when you put that space on.
When I did what?
When you put the space on. You can't hear me?
Yes. Yeah, I can now.
Okay, and you put the space on. When you did that, then the letters don't show, but they can still change the letters and make them white. Oh, the font.
Yeah, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah, so if you want to do your font differently, in a different color, and you say, I want it white, you can make your font completely white. Okay. You can also, I don't know if it'll work on this one. Let's see here. Yeah, you can do center it. You can do it left, or you can even do different modes. You can change your color. It doesn't really show up on this one, so I'm going to show you that on something different. Okay. Is that what you meant, Becky?
Yeah, and when you put the space on, it looked so beautiful, and the font didn't show up, but then if they liked the space picture that they had created, then they can change the font exactly like you did.
Right, so if we go back to the space, that's what she's saying. So you can see it with white lettering versus black lettering, and which way it's going to show up better. Now, let's just say you kept it with the black lettering. So let's apply this right now, and I'll show you, let's see here. I probably did this backwards, but let's keep it black. And then I want to go back. Oh, I'm not going to be able to do it that way. I've got to go. This right here takes you back. Okay, so you can go backwards. So let me do the black lettering to just show you something. If I go back into what Becky was talking about with the texture, and I do the space, and I go, gosh, I really love the sky in this, but the lettering is really hard to see. I wish there were a way I could change the space and not the lettering. Look at all the different things you can do here. Highlight, lighten, multiply, overlay, screen. There's all kinds of different varieties of this. That's pretty ugly. Okay, so like that one right there, the font shows up much better. Lighten. So again, there's so many different things you can do, and we're not going to have time to take you all the way through them. But I want you to just be able to explore. So let's go back to our regular. Okay, what Becky was talking about is smudge. Smudge is really, oh, I guess I can't because it's a royal feature.
Oh.
Yeah. Let's see. Can we do paint? Yeah, we can do paint. So paint, you can do kind of a smudge look. You see, it just adds a little texture to it. But again, keep in mind, you want to make sure you're not overwhelming the picture. Less is more when it comes to your articles. Okay, so let's say I really like that, but again, the background is a little bit too intense and I can't see the font. Do I want to do subtract? That's kind of cool. Screen, not so much. So see, you can, there's lots and lots of options. Okay, you just have to play around with it. Okay, so again, many features on here. What other one did we, oh, clouds. Want to discard the paint. I don't want to use that one. I decided I really want to use clouds instead. I like those. Okay. Oops, that's a royal feature too. Sorry, no clouds. Well, that's okay because the websites that you're getting your images for have lots of clouds, so that's not a problem. All right, Becky, anything else on here that we really want to focus on for the time being?
I'm not sure if I open up Picmonkey, if I can show them things or not, so I'm just going to direct you so that we respect their time. One thing that we are trying to stay away from is cutesy, but if you go to the butterfly, Lisa, and you scroll down to daisies, not the cutesy daisies, but just, it's pretty far down.
Yes, daisies? These?
We have a little delay, so yes. Okay, so just pick the purple one, or that one's fine. Okay, and then put it over in the left-hand corner.
Yep.
So that it's not a whole daisy, that it's just a portion of the daisy.
Okay.
And then fade it.
Okay.
So then it can actually not be overpowering if you wanted a flower of some kind. The other things are all too cutesy, and that was last year and the year before.
Yeah, that's so 2015.
That is, and we are 2016 now.
Yeah.
But I have used those occasionally if I'm really feeling like my graphic needs something, but I don't want to go find a huge, flower bouquet or something.
Right, and that's great. And what I would say to add to that is consider the color. Consider the image that you have. Consider the font. If there's too much, like this one is nice and balanced because it's just one flower. The colors are sophisticated. The font is sophisticated. There's not too much script in there, so it's okay. But if if I said, gosh, I just love flowers. I want to put flowers everywhere because they're so pretty. Oh, here's a feature. Watch this. If you can right-click on it, and it gives you options. Send to the back, send backward, bring forward. So I'm going to send this one to the back. So the font is on top of it. So let's say I'm just a flower person. I love flowers. And I don't want to fade them out at all. Let's see. Whoops. I'm just going to put a bunch of them in there. Do you see how cutesy it's starting to get? And then it really takes away from, you're already going to start attracting a new audience this way. And it's not necessarily the audience that's going to respond to your articles the way you want. It's not the audience you're going to try to attract. So when you take these out and just leave it, even that is too much. Like Becky said, just fade it. Then it's just a nice touch, just a little bit. So less is more. That's really kind of, again, the trend right now is less is more. Okay. Anything else that, if you guys want to, if you want to write in the chat session at all, let me see if I can see that. If you want to write anything, let's see. Okay.
I'll test it.
Can you see me still?
No.
Okay, yeah, I just got a message. Okay, so if anybody wants to ask a question or if there's anything specific they want to see, I think that for the most part, the best way to learn is for you to just, play around. Just have some fun in there. Again, you've got a lot of features within the free account. You can upgrade if you want, but I don't think it's necessary. So just have a good time with this. And
another thing they can do, Lisa, is if they wanted clouds and they didn't want to pay for the yearly fee, is they can take a picture of their own and lay it over the whole image that they've created with the words and fade it out too and get the same effect.
Yeah, so I'll show you how to do that. There's two different ways. Becky and I do it a little bit differently, so I'll show you both ways. So if you take, so let's get rid of the flower because let's say we want the clouds, okay? And I'm going to grab, let's see here, oops. I'm going to grab an image that I really like. It's not necessarily going to be clouds because I'm not sure I've got that available to me right this second, but let's take one in here and let's just say, oh, this is the image I want to overlay, okay? Oops, let's scoot this over a little bit. Okay, I'm going to just open that up and it'll put it right on top, okay? And then I can expand it. So this is what Becky's saying, is to take it, this is how you do it, right?
Right. Well, it just depends. I mean, I do it so many different ways.
Yeah. This is not, oh, for Pete's sake, sorry about that. It's too hard to get, see if I can get this. I'm trying to get the fade. I'm not seeing it, so I can't fade this image.
Click on the picture again, and it'll show up. There you go.
Okay, so now I want to fade it. See how you fade it like that? Okay. And now you have a new backdrop. Okay.
And the reason I do that is if I've made a graphic and I like everything about it, but it needs a picture, and I don't want to start all over writing everything on a picture, then I'll use it this way.
Yeah, and that's great. And sometimes it is. Sometimes you'll have a creative block where you say, oh gosh, I don't like this, and it needs something, and you find something like this, and that's a great way to do it. I mean, typically I think both of us, if we know what we want, we're going to start with the image first and fade it to where we want it, and then put the text on top of it. But this is another way to do it. Okay, and if you say, well, gosh, I decided I really don't want that, you just use this, which is undo the last action, and keep clicking it until the picture disappears.
And Lisa, do you use Clone very much? Should we show them about Clone?
I do. Let's see. Do you want to clone what?
Okay, for example, I was creating something for the verse of the day, and there was too much tree in the way, and so I went in and took a bunch of the trees out and added water.
Okay, so let me...
it has to be embedded into the actual graphic before you can work on it.
Yeah, but clone is a royal feature, so they wouldn't be able to use that one.
Okay, so never mind.
Yeah. One of the advantages to having the account, and really most of you are going to want that account at some point, but we wanted to start you off with free and you could decide. Okay?
Right.
Posturize, I love this one, but again, it's not necessarily trending right now, so it's not really used that often. Okay. Is there anything else that we're forgetting? I'm pretty sure we've gotten a good coverage.
All right. Well, Lisa and Becky, I wanted to just give you a time check that we're about 45 after the hour, so we're 45 minutes into the webinar. And if there's no questions, I think we can call this a wrap. And thank you both.
Great. It's perfect.
Thank you, Kendall, for setting it up. I'm sorry I wasn't as familiar with this application, but I'll get more familiar with it.
No problem. It's all good. So for everybody's that's on this webinar, it is recorded, and so we will have a video replay, and that will be distributed, so you can come back and look at this and keep learning. I know there's a lot of information here, so you will be able to repeat it. But for today, thanks everybody, and we'll see you again next Friday.
Okay, bye everyone. Thank you.
Bye.